ElectraMeccanica made quite a splash with their little three-wheeled car. It was the talk of the town. It was affordable, and it was at all the auto shows. And now, where is it? What happened? Let's find out the fate of ElectraMeccanica and their fabled Solo. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Joined again by my good friend Randy Kirk, who is a best-selling author of a number of books about Elon Musk and other topics as well, business and all that. He is pretty good at understanding a lot of the nuts and bolts of business, I think is fair to say. You've been a serial entrepreneur, and you have done all right, I would say, based on everything I know about you.
The only thing I didn't sell was cereal.
Yes, and there are a whole bunch of jokes that could go right there. But I'm not going to make them.
You're not going to keep going.
I'm going to leave those in the comments, you guys. Randy Kirk, serial blank.
Yes.
Take it away. And remember that YouTube is aggressive with their filtering. So,
yes.
So, yeah, ElectraMeccanica.
I've started a few companies. It's true.
Yeah.
A few.
And consulted a lot of companies.
A few hundred.
Yeah. So ElectraMeccanica was founded in Vancouver, BC, and they designed this car. They'd bought a bunch of patents and IP from another similar thing, threw it out, designed this from scratch. They were building it for a time in China, and then they onshored the manufacturing to Arizona. Kind of a neat car. Does it remind you of anything?
Well, a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Oh, did you say the Nissan Versa Note?
Is that what it looks? No,
Oh, darn it.
I see.
Doesn't it? I think it does.
It has a beginning. It has a beginning of that. Yes.
So this car was on sale for $18,500.
$18,500,000?
$18,500. You could buy one.
Wow.
Electric, pretty zippy. I mean, not like record breaking, but faster than any compact out there.
Yeah.
What do you think with a price like that? How come they weren't everywhere?
Well, I don't know. I mean, sometimes, there's a million reasons why things don't make it into the marketplace. Like sometimes you have something that is a really good deal and you don't know how to tell people about it.
What's the ideal number of seats for a car?
Oh, the ideal number of seats for a car would be at least one. But
it does have one. It does have one.
But not more than one, huh?
Just the one. And I think that
was
worked against it.
Was that the kiss of death? I see.
Well, maybe. So here we've got product recall, trading below cash. You know what trading below cash means? This is a year ago. The comments are down 64% and currently swapping hands at 65 million market cap, less than its net cash balance of 92.7. So they were literally worth less than their cash on hand.
Right.
And that's tricky. But apparently they had to recall. They had a powertrain issue, and when they were able to finally diagnose it, what they found is we can't repair them.
Oh.
So they recalled all 429 vehicles. That is suboptimal, I think I would say. So this is all the information you'd need to know. But here's the inside. You can see it is just a one-seater. Looks fine. Pretty out of date, I would say.
Okay, yeah.
That's, like just a CD player as far as I can tell. Probably isn't, but it's really too small. And even at that price, they only sold 420. 429. And it was, I would say it was a decent car, except that obviously it wasn't, or they wouldn't have had to recall 100%. Shockingly, at the end, their cash burn was only like 22 million a year. I don't know how you keep your cash burn that under control with really no sales.
And so they have now bankrupted and gone out of business. I mean, they're no longer going to give it another go.
The current plan is that they are going to focus on four-wheel vehicles,
I see.
but not in the U.S. market. It's too aggressive and competitive. I don't know where they would possibly do that, but it would be challenging. Four-wheelers are hard to get into. There's a lot more regulations and rules, but then there's also, generally speaking, credits that are not usually allowed for
The three-wheel.
the three-wheelers. So where are they now? The answer may surprise you. Found them.
That's pretty sad. Pretty
That's
sad.
heartbreaking.
As an entrepreneur who has had more than one failed company, this is not a pretty picture. This is a sad. We should all drop a tear.
I would have liked for them to make as many of them as possible available to museums.
Yes.
Because every little car museum in the country certainly would have gladly sent someone or paid $1,000 or $2,000 to get it shipped to them.
Yeah.
Because this is just tragic.
Tragic.
It really is.
Yeah.
Most people probably aren't used to seeing quite so many shiny new cars collectively waiting to meet their demise. Yet that's exactly what happened here. I hope they at least pulled the batteries because those are more valuable.
That's true.
And mountains of brand new. Are they brand new? I mean, they're
Brian,
pretty new.
By the way, Brian, this is very sad, but it is not as unusual as people think for products to fail in the field. And this is why my enthusiasm for Optimus, over and over again, wanting Optimus to be out sooner, and some of the cooler heads in the industry who've been on my show or your show have said, look, they got to test this thing really, really, really thoroughly in heat, in cold, in wet, damp weather, in humid weather. They got to test it, at night and at day, and under this lighting and that lighting. They got all these different combinations of possibilities because you don't want to ship a few 100,000 Optimi and then have them end up like this guy.
And that's exactly it. Well, why is the Cybertruck taking so long to come out? Why are they testing it for a year instead of the 3 months that we saw with the Model Y or 3? Because every part of it's new, like the whole thing. The castings have not been done like this. And even with all that testing, there's still been some recalls because it is so much new stuff, and there are just plain environments where people are not testing it.
Yeah.
They got to get that sorted out. ElectraMeccanica Solo, I'm going to rate that a sell.
A sell, yeah.
I don't usually give stock advice, you guys, but if you're holding, I do not have really any advice for you, and I would suspect you're immune to advice. So I think I still had one share of Arcimoto, but it was like way before the reverse splits. But what I was told is that if there's a reverse split, you just remain at one share. So I was able to, 10, 20x my money probably.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, whatever it was that their reverse split was, but their factory is closed. We are no longer in the heyday of electric car startups. All the money that was flowing to these kinds of companies, the kinds of companies like Fisker, who was just counting on endless cash infusions, have moved on to AI and robotics. And frankly, so have you and I. But we've managed to do that without changing our company of choice, because that company has also moved on to AI and robotics. And it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Cars are still important and will be for a while, but this is the dawn of a new era. And companies like Solo and Arcimoto were always in a tough position, and now it's obviously gotten worse. We'll see how long the cash tap remains wide open for the likes of Lucid, but I don't envy their shareholders who are facing,
Yes.
as I've said before, homeopathy levels of dilution. So they are investing in parts per billion. It's magical. And if that doesn't work, if that's not potent enough, try parts per 10 billion. I mean, just keep watering it down. Pretty soon, by that rationale, the Boston Tea Party has ensured that the entire ocean is homeopathic tea. So,
Well, Brian, there is a reason why there's only been one startup in the United States in the automobile industry in the last 100 years that succeeded. It's a hard business to get into. And the fact
yeah.
that it's electric doesn't make it any easier at all. And so far, we've seen in China that we've got about, I don't know, I think it's over 200 startups that have tried to make electric automobiles in China. We have one that's in profits. And that one is in profits because it has a massive battery business before it made its first car. And it has a huge amount of business in hybrids before it started making electric cars. So we really don't have a fresh from the ground up BEV company in China that has got to profits.
And it's alarming and concerning when you think about it. I know there'll be people in the comments who are saying, wait, Rivian is successful. They've reached mass production. Lucid's reached mass production. But I think what you're saying, and I'm agreeing with, is that until you are a self-sustaining business that is no longer in imminent risk of bankruptcy,
Right.
2-3 quarters from now, that's not really a success yet.
Nope.
You may have a successful product, but having the best widget is not always enough. Sony lost the videotape format wars to the vastly inferior VHS, and that's sometimes how it works. So don't always matter how good your product is. You got to make money too. Mm-hmm. So guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? How thankful and grateful are you? From a good friend, Randy Kirk, from Randy Kirk Videos channel, hanging out with us. I'm pretty excited about it, I guess, but I'm also excited to log off because I have to go to Costco today, and I haven't done that in months because I've been on the road so much. I've been home about 10 days since the second week of May.
Wow.
And yeah, my kids were like, oh, what should we have for dinner? I'm like, I don't know what's even in the fridge. And I checked, the answer was a lot of stuff. They just didn't feel like making it themselves. It was more exciting to let me do it. So that's great. I enjoy hanging out with them. And I enjoy hanging out with you, Randy Kirk. So don't tell anybody because, people get judgmental when I hang out.
Reputation is, important, I guess.
Yeah. And you know what they say about Randy Kirk. Leave it in the comments. We'll find out. So, guys, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, on the flippity flop. And a quick reminder, if you get a chance, I do very much appreciate your support, whether on Patreon or YouTube as a channel member or X as a subscriber. These ways all allow me to keep doing what I do because it's expensive and difficult, and I do not make the kind of money a lot of people imagine that I do, but in the future, I'm sure I will. So thanks again, and see you soon.